Otakuology podcast with Otaku Mike and Jin Graves.
Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to another pulse-pounding, thrilling episode of the Otakuology podcast. I know we were gone last week. That's because we didn't record anything. Because we're a bunch of degenerates and we're lazy as fuck sometimes. I am Otaku Mike, and I am here with,
Isn't that the truth?
as I was saying, I'm Otaku Mike, and I'm here with my heterosexual life partner, Mr. Jin Graves. How are you doing today, sir?
What's up, guys?
How's it going? How's it going?
I would like to start this out with can I get a oh yeah?
Can I get a oh yeah? But before we get into this, I would just like to thank the podcast Trains, Planes, and Comic Books for giving us a shout out a couple of weeks ago on their it was their Judge Dredd episode, I believe it was. Because I had sent them a couple suggestions for manga they could cover on their podcast. They're a
Right.
comic book podcast. You can find them on all major podcast platforms. Go check them out. They're really cool and really nice guys. It's Matt and John, I believe their names are, and they cover comic books every week. Well, specific stories or runs of comic books, and I really enjoy them. And they kind of inspired me to get back into podcasting and doing podcasting, because I was like, if these guys can do it and they're entertaining, they keep me entertained,
Right.
I feel like I can do it,
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to say thank you to them for giving us a shout out, being so nice, and actually taking our suggestions for stuff to check out. I mean, that's always cool to do. They just did an Old Man Logan episode, which was really fucking good. I really enjoyed it, and I think their next one is The Rocketeer. I recommend go checking out their episode. It's a lot of fun.
The Rocketeer. I love that guy.
I think you should go check it out because I think you would like it as well. Their podcast. I know you're not. I know you're not a big podcast person, but
I mean, there's only one that I really listen to.
What's that?
The Otakuology podcast.
Well, I think you would enjoy their podcast because they're actually really funny and they have a really good banter with each other.
Yeah. What's funny, because I did have a couple people on other platforms and stuff actually ask me, don't ask me what the name of their podcast are, because I'm definitely not going to remember that.
Oh, okay.
But I had a couple people ask me if I could listen to their podcast and what they thought about it. So I was like, I wonder if they listen to ours.
I mean, I like to think that we're somewhat entertaining to our 9 listeners that listen to us.
I like to think we're just somewhat entertaining, and people have to cheat and download us for free.
I mean, we are free on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I forgot what else. Spotify, Anchor.
Pirates.
Spotify, Anchor. There's that one called Ticket Tape or Tape Ticket. I don't remember what it's called. It's a podcast app.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ones. But how have you been these past couple weeks?
Pretty good. Just working on everything, working on myself. Started working out, proteining it up, detoxing. It's pain.
Oh, okay. I saw you started your own TikTok.
Makes it feel like you got to pee every 20 minutes.
I saw you started your own TikTok. What was it, Impractical Jake?
I did. Inspired Jake.
Oh, Inspired Jake? My bad.
Yep. So basically, that's anything that's not funny or whatever that you and I obviously put on the Otakuology one. It's just kind of more of the safe space. You can talk about depression and things that inspire you and different things like that. So
can I just say, out of the both of us, I feel like I'm the person who goes out and does their weird TikToks. And
That's so true.
you just
That's
like,
so true. Like I have this wheelhouse, and I'll watch a TikTok, and if you look at the ones that I send you, I'm like, this is nothing that I have the balls to do. I'll send it to Mike.
and I'm like, well, I don't see anybody else doing this. Who's
Right. Well, I just have to say the funniest thing for me is the fact of I feel like you're the only guy that's doing any of them,
because
especially
they're mostly like women.
chick
Women are
ones.
doing them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it makes me laugh. Like there's some of them where I'll be sitting there and I'll like, I fucking love it.
Did you see the one I did
Fucking
today?
love it. I
Like
think so.
I don't put them out every day, but like every like a week or so, I'll do maybe like a couple. I don't want to like use all my TikTok up, but I do have.
Right.
It makes me think more creatively, and 'cause you only have 15 to 60 seconds to do stuff. So you kind of have to
Right.
like
Yeah.
cram it all in there, and I'm like, oh, am I doing this right? Like, am I being funny?
Right.
Like,
I mean, I feel like it's almost like us covering Naruto in 60 minutes or whatever, and it's like, can I do that? Is
I
that
don't
even
know.
possible? Like
Maybe.
73 volumes of material, and we have to like be in depth about stuff. Like, how the heck are we going to do it? So, if we ever had to do that, I would imagine that you would just somehow put on a 10-gallon hat and get your auctioneer voice going.
I mean, maybe. Who knows? Uh,
Let's check it out. What's your auctioneer voice sound like right now? Exactly. There you go. That's what the whole episode would be like. You do a slight gas, and then you hear Naruto.
Naruto. Well,
Jiraiya.
yeah. You had set up our second interview for us with a very special guest,
I
which
did. I did.
we recorded it yesterday. I don't want to say who the guest is, but he was a really nice guy. Sadly, we didn't get to finish the interview because there were technical issues, I think, on my side, and I think we got them figured out.
Right.
We
Yeah.
recorded like the first 30 minutes, and it just kept crapping out on my side, and I don't know if I lost like a bunch of the recordings.
Right.
And he was nice enough. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we will get him back to talk to him next week.
Right.
He
So
he just said to
I will.
remind him because he's
I will
bad.
just.
He's
I will
bad
just put
at
out
that.
one little thing. So if you know him really well and you know it, me and Mike have both added this new phrase slash word choice to our vocabulary now, and we have found that we are both nasty men. So if you know where that comes from and who says that a lot, then you'll know who it is.
But he's a anime manga Funko Pop YouTuber. So he's a really nice guy. And going down and checking him out, and that just sounded wrong. Checking out his YouTube channel, not him as a person.
Mike, what does his butt look like?
I don't know because I can only see him from the waist up.
Does he have good biceps?
He has a really nice beard going on.
Is it better than your beard?
I mean, it's got like a kind of like almost like a mutton chop like beard looking thing going. I don't know how to explain it, but it's nice. Right? It's not bad.
You heard it here. Mike's hitting on guys.
I mean, if you have a nice beard, I'll do anything.
Right. Then we'd have to go off of your TikTok with the well, I don't know. I don't have Snapchat or anything like that, but if you want me to sit on a cake and fart for you, I mean I have Cash App and Venmo.
But yeah, I look forward to that, and fingers crossed we can get him back on here because we had a very fun conversation with him. I think we had a fun conversation from
We did,
what
we
we
did.
did,
Yeah.
But that gives us time to come up with new and better questions because we actually got to talk to him. It's and feel him out and see what kind of person he actually is. And he was a pretty fun guy to talk to.
Right.
And he had some hot takes on stuff. Just saying.
That's very true.
which they were funny as fuck.
Yeah, that's also true as well. I am super glad that I reached out to said person.
Yeah, yeah. We don't want to give it away, but he's a nice guy. So did
You
I?
mean he's a nice nasty
He's
guy?
a nice nasty man. So did I tell you that I've been on a ban by?
No?
Or on a ban by a buy ban?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna buy ban for the next couple months.
Well, did you know that since you're on a buy ban, that means that you can't buy anything with bands or anything from Bandai?
Um, yes, I did know that, but I have to save up money so the kids can go to their summer camps, and I can't buy manga or anything for the next couple months. It's
That's
gonna
okay. I
gonna be
totally
hard.
understand. I haven't been buying any manga. I just try and make sure I have the money for it whenever Right Stuff decides that they're going to take it out. And it was almost $400, and I finally got tired of it. And I was like, I'm not going to sit here and wait.
Uh
So
huh.
I went into one of my orders because it had all of Goodnight Pun Pun in it, and I was like,
Hmm.
hey, just take all of Goodnight Pun Pun out. Like it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
After
Yes.
waiting like a month, I was like, I don't care
So
anymore. Somebody will
after
send it to me.
before I found out about the summer camp thing, because they have to go they have to go the whole week.
Yeah,
We used to be able to pick the days that they could go on.
yeah,
And before that, I like ordered stuff. Like I ordered like these really nice hardcovers for Invincible.
yeah.
Ordered like the first three, and I ordered. I have like 10 mangas for like this month's haul, and
Right.
I'm like, well, if I can like, I'm really good with the spending. Maybe I'll be able to buy a manga or two each month.
Yeah.
you
Goodness.
know and
Yeah.
but yeah, it's been like really hard like trying to put money away.
Yeah.
It's because I gotta put it away and whatnot, and it's so hard. But did I read? Oh yeah, I did read something recently. I read the side story 2 for Goblin Slayer.
Yeah.
I just gotta say, I think I'm done with the Goblin Slayer spin-offs.
Oh, so you're gonna send me this one?
Probably. I mean, if you come
Yes.
down here, I'll probably just give it to you so I don't have to pay for the shipping.
Yes.
But I did not like the first volume
I
at
can see
all.
it. Stay tuned for Mike's YouTube videos. Unhaul going to Jim Graves.
Unhaul, and then I'll box it all up and just hand it to you.
All the shit I don't want anymore.
I'll box it up and be like, here you go.
We'll have to do one of those videos where the camera's on top of the box, and it'll be like you handing it to the camera, and it'll flip around to me receiving the box.
Yeah, I was one. I didn't know it came out. I didn't know that the Goblin Slayer Daikatana came out, which I was interested in it. 'Cause I didn't know they announced the manga version, but I knew they had the light novel.
You know how many books this one's supposed to be?
No, I don't think it's supposed to be that long,
Okay.
but I just didn't enjoy it. It was not captivating to me. The main character was basically like Goblin Slayer light, but not as cool as Goblin Slayer. And the I was and it was more focused on the Sword Maiden, who is it's a pretty cool character in Goblin Slayer.
Right.
But I don't know, it just
Didn't
didn't
meet your fancy.
it didn't meet my fancy. It didn't hook me in. It just there was exposition dump after exposition dump, and you know how I feel about a lot of expedition dumping.
Yes.
And I'm not for that all the time. You can just explain things simply sometimes. I don't need 5 fucking pages of this
I
is
mean,
this is
I
what we're
totally
doing,
understand this for you. I would say that you probably need to write a letter to your Bakuman box set because I'm pretty sure you're only like 2 books into that thing.
Yeah, sadly, yes. Like I was really hot on the first volume of Bakuman. I don't want to go on like a tangent or whatever, but eventually I will read the rest of Bakuman.
Stay tuned for our late show.
And then eventually I'll have to break in and uh, read Rosario Vampire because I have yet to touch that either. But
That's
yeah,
okay. I just need the second half. You can give it to me when I'm down there.
that's no, you can just buy it. Like it's not that hard. I don't think people are clamoring for season 2 of Rosario Vampire manga. Just saying.
Who knows?
But yeah, that's kind of what I read. I started building my master grade Gundam, the Origin Gundam RX. Was it 78-02? I think it was.
Yeah.
I started building that. It's pretty cool. I
I,
like it
s-
so far.
I still got to finish my high grade Assault Buster or Victory 2 Assault Buster. I haven't.
Yeah.
I think I got like one shoulder blade done. I just put it down and I was like, I'll come back to this later. And I just never came back to it.
Yeah, it was just yeah, it was it's been good. And I started reading Invincible. I like that. That's really good. I read the first 2 volumes of that. Well, I bought the first 2 volumes, and then I was like, I can just save money and not buy the other. Was it 19 something volumes? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Maybe 20 volumes. I can't remember. It's like 24, 25 volume series. I was like, I'll just buy the collector's editions, and
Right.
I can only buy 12 of those.
Yeah.
I would buy the compendiums, but I don't want to buy the soft covers. I want hard covers. I like a good hardcover.
You like it good and hard.
I like good hard and big, long, and fat. Just saying. But anyway, that's what I've been doing. You know.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. You know. But yeah, so today, what are we talking about today, Jen Graves?
Today we're going to talk about the Mandalorian. Oh shit, no.
Wrong
Wrong one.
podcast,
Wrong
wrong podcast.
one. No, today we're going to talk about like the top 10. Is it the top 10 things in anime that people hate or the top
Yeah,
10 anime that people hate?
it's the top 10 things people hate about anime.
Okay.
And I'm guessing it's top 10 things people hate, like anime fans hate about anime. That's what I perceived when I watched the video. I'm just going to be honest. We did not come up with this list, so don't get mad at us. We are just giving
Yeah.
our opinions
Don't shoot the
of the
messengers.
list. We got this from WatchMojo, so take what WatchMojo says with a grain of salt. Don't take
True.
everything they say seriously,
Very true.
because it's WatchMojo. They do things for the clicks.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll listen to our podcast after this.
Maybe they will listen to our podcast after this. But let's go ahead, get into this list, and let's crack it open and
Yeah,
pour the list out.
read all these off for me.
All right, I will. But first, let's hear from our sponsor, anchorfm.com, whatever you want to call it.
What's up, guys? Jen back with the Otakuology podcast, where we talk about a lot of shit, right? Right? I mean, we do.
Are you rolling in when I'm pooping out?
Definitely not. So, while we're back, let me throw this joke out at you, especially after Mike saying that. So today I heard this really good joke, and it was a little boy is on an airplane beside a guy, and the guy looks at the little boy and goes, "Hey, let's talk about nuclear physics." Little boy looks at him and says, "Well, before we talk about that, let me ask you something, sir." Little boy goes, "Okay, so a deer, a cow, and a moose all crap differently, right?" He goes, the cow has big
um,
patties, the deer has
does this have anything to do with anime?
definitely
Okay.
has to do with the shit that we talk about.
Okay.
And the moose basically, has this other kind or whatever. And the guy looks at the little boy and goes, "Well, no, I honestly can't tell you anything about that." Little boy looks back at the guy and he goes, "Uh, well, sir, if you don't know crap about anything, then what gives you the right to think you can talk to me about nuclear physics?" So
All
there you
right.
go. There's your 1 minute.
All right. So you ready to tear apart this list? Actually,
Yes,
I don't think it's that bad of a list.
yes. Now that we're lubed up, I'm ready.
Okay, you using like a aqua based lube, or is it
No,
more like Astroglide?
maybe a combination. I don't
Okay,
know.
you got some wet on.
No, there's no wet on, wet off.
All right, so my list went away. Hold on. Okay, so our first one is number 10. We're going 10-1.
Oh, hold on, I got you. Number 10.
Number 10, incomplete stories.
Um, we can stop right there. That's like my number one pet peeve. Shit. I mean, God. If you buy anything old Tokyo Pop or whatever, I mean, hardly any of that shit got completed.
But we're
So,
talking about anime here.
uh, they both fit in the same wheelhouse.
Okay, I guess. Okay, well, explain more why you hate this one, and is it true? And why
I
is it
just
deserve?
feel like if you're gonna
Why does
make
it deserve to be up more up there on your list?
I just feel like if you're gonna be making a story, that you need to have this planned out to a T about how this ending's gonna be. I mean, I
Well,
need like some freaking fireworks, all this other stuff,
when you think about it, technically, what if the ending has isn't really in your control? What if you get canceled early, or, i.e., in the realm of uh, High School of the Dead, what if your creator dies?
I mean, any of the three options. I mean, it's all shitty, okay?
Like, what if you don't have control over it, your ending? You
Oh
know.
man, then somebody's got some explaining to do, okay? Because that's some bullshit.
Well, I
I
mean,
mean,
even like the artist for High School of the Dead didn't want to finish it because he felt like it would be a disservice to the
right.
writer, you know. So he
And
went
I
off.
get that. I get that, but I feel like they need to have things put in for it to, even if it was like, I don't know, the last 5 pages of it they just threw in there
Or
and
what
said
about
said
Satoshi?
some kind of virus bomb went off, and
Yeah,
everything basically killed off all the zombies, and or it turned into
like
28 days later, basically.
like I get it. Like incomplete stories suck, especially if your story is or anime. We'll go with anime is setting up for more, and that other season never comes about. You know.
Right. I honestly feel like the only thing I would hate more than this would be a really, really shitty ending. And most of the time when you're reading a manga, you're like, you're on this one book and you're like, wow, like everything picked up real fast. They left information out, or like it might be like a journey manga where it's, oh, hey, we got to go collect these 7 items. Well, we got 3 so far. Well, magically, some dumbass collected the other 4 for us and we got to kick
Hmm.
their ass. So, like stuff like that. I think that would be the only thing that would top this one for me.
I mean, I don't see a lot of incomplete stories or know of any really incomplete stories when it comes to anime. The only one that I really know about is High School of the Dead, and then Elfen Lied was incomplete. Excuse me, to an extent, or
Yeah, I
actually,
mean
kind of,
there's a handful of them that
yeah,
you know, but I mean there's different ones here and there of manga that you could pull out.
yeah. All right, so you ready for the number 9?
Yes.
All right,
Number 9.
number 9. So this is gonna get into a whole different debate. And honestly, I thought this would be higher up on the list.
Is this something that I need to drive down to Texas before we finish this and slap the shit out of you?
Bad
Are we going to
dub.
disagree or are we going to agree?
Number 9 is bad dubs.
Oh, God. I don't know. I mean, I would probably put this at my number 10 just because, like,
I don't even know if I would put it on the list because, I
well,
mean, like,
the only way I can explain this to you in best things is that because you don't drink anymore or anything, but I still
uh,
kind of do. Is like I kind of turn into a drinking game, and I'm like, oh
yeah,
man, let me watch this, and if it doesn't match up, I'm gonna take a shot, okay?
like I feel like this like goes into the sub versus dub debate because
Yeah,
there's a lot of people out there that fucking hate dubs. I'm a dub man. I love my dubs. Texas is where most of the dubs are created nowadays. There are some in Canada and off in Los Angeles as well, and I think in New York a little bit.
I think there's some in California too.
Yeah, California. Yeah, that's what I meant. Like Los Angeles, California.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But like a bad dub, like it depending on what it is, like what era the anime is set in, or when it was made. I I kind of just go with it.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like it would almost be like one of the old Japanese martial arts movies.
Yeah.
I mean, and that had some shitty dubbing. So, like,
Well, I mean, like not just like shitty dubbing, but like voices, like a voice actor's voice not matching with said character. Like, oh, that why would that voice come out of that character? Something like that.
oh, that's a whole different argument right there.
Like,
That
because I
is,
was, when I was watching the video, they had like the old, I think it was like the Canadian dub of Dragon Ball going on, and they called Piccolo like Big Green, and like it was so weird.
Jesus Christ.
And like I don't know. I'm okay with bad dubs. Like like when we would get a bad dub in like anime, when we watch anime at like and the anime club, we would kind of goof on it and laugh on it and riff on it.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily think a bad dub always like is bad.
right.
I don't think it's necessarily detrimental to the anime itself, and I don't actually think it should be on the list, in my opinion.
No, I don't know. I mean, we just got to take the list for what it is, but I mean, I don't think I could. I mean, I think it would be at spot number 10 because I wouldn't really care.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I said, if I knew there was a really bad one, I would probably just turn it into a drinking game with another friend or
yeah.
something.
I feel
Let's
like
say,
people are more fans nowadays are more critical of dubs than I feel like we were back then. Like we were critical of dubs back then, but not as critical as they are now, I would say.
right, right. Oh no, for sure.
Yeah.
I think they should make an anime where everybody wears a mask and then just go from there.
All right, so number 8.
Number 8.
Okay, this one I do have a problem with, and I feel like this would be at the top of my list.
All right, hit me with it.
Calling things anime when they're not anime.
Uh, I I don't know.
Like, okay, so we have, hey, Avatar Last Airbender, that's anime. Castlevania, that's anime. What was that Zeus one? Oh, that's anime. Like, a lot of people say anime is or
Oh,
is made in Japan. That what makes it anime. It's Japanese animation.
right.
Like Netflix has a big thing with this
Yeah.
where they call almost everything anime and it is not anime.
Oh yeah.
It's like they're trying to put the or make anime a label and be like, "Hey guys, this is anime. This is what's cool."
Yeah, instead of just calling it a cartoon or
Yeah,
whatever.
instead of calling it like a really good cartoon. Now, don't get me wrong, the Castlevania cartoon is really good. It's really good, but they call it an anime. It's not an anime. I believe it's animated in Texas.
I don't know. I thought the Castlevania one was done in Japan because it
No.
kind of looks like the same style as the Devil
Well,
May Cry
I mean,
anime.
it's made the Castlevania was made by Konami, and that's a Japanese company.
Right.
It's a game. So it has Japanese influences.
Right. This one's not really that big of a thing for me either. This
Well, the thing
probably in
is
spot
when
9.
when you're trying to show anime and show it to introduce people to anime,
Yeah.
it's just when one company is trying to push anime onto people and that stuff isn't anime is when
Right.
I have a problem with it.
Right.
Cuz you're pushing this as anime, but it's technically not anime.
Yeah.
It's a cartoon that looks like anime, but it's not.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
know, that's the big debate with Avatar. Avatar, good series, fucking phenomenal series, but I would not call it an anime. I would just call it a good cartoon.
Right.
Yeah, even though everywhere you go and everywhere it's sold, it's placed in the anime section.
Oh yeah, that's true too. But I mean, everything's placed in there kind of like that.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I've never seen like if you go try and find like an Adventure Time box set or something like that.
yeah,
I feel like that's always in the same area too.
yeah. You're usually in the same area, like at your local WalMarts or stuff like that.
Right.
Or I would say Best Buy, but I mean they're a lot like Walmart now. They don't carry a lot of anime anymore.
This
But
is
yeah,
true. All right. Numbers.
number 7 is this one might get you. I'm
It's gonna get me.
yeah,
All
maybe
right.
is live action remakes.
Oh yeah, shit. This would be like number 2.
The
Jesus
first thing I
Christ.
thought of was when we did that Death Note live action thing that one time, and you like refused to watch it.
I'm gonna keep cool about it. I mean, God, it turns my stomach. I feel like if you're gonna do a remake, a live action one, and it's not majority based human characters,
Uh-huh.
where you're not gonna have very much CGI,
Yeah.
and you feel like you're gonna play with the idea a lot, like the Death Note one, which was
Uh-huh.
BS because technically it was all American based.
Yeah.
I feel like you should either make it you can coin the title on it, like it could be like Death Note America, or you could say so many years later, and hey, Ryuk's come back and drop the Death Note to this other kid, or whatever. But I mean, no, it's just fucking shitty.
So I'm of two minds when I think of like anime remakes or live action anime remakes, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
They use the property. A lot of them are really, really bad. There are
no shit.
exceptions. There are exceptions. The Roni Kenshin live action movies are really good.
Right.
Like those are really good. And those are from Japan, which this is where I have a problem with. When they make live action, the CGI and the effects a lot of times don't look good from Japan.
That's true.
They look really half-assed done.
That's true.
With
I
Roni
mean,
Kenshin,
I mean, like
I don't feel that way.
like Sweet Home. Sweet Home has a lot of those like little demon guys in it, and all of those look at parts they look like claymation. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm like, how in the fuck are you gonna sit there and put these guys into this and have it one scene and then another scene it looks like somebody in a skin suit,
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but
But yeah, I mean, I'm of two minds. Like like I love the live action Fist of the North Star movie, but I love it because of the fact it is somewhat it is it doesn't stray from the source material necessarily,
Right.
but it's
Right.
cheesy. It's cheesy enough that I still enjoy it. Like it's like a like one of those bad cult B movies,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I
And
enjoy it. You know.
I mean, I could see something being that way. That's why I feel like if it's more human based, it's okay.
But I'm of two minds because like I know there were a lot of people who did not like the Ghost in the Shell movie that came out a few years ago with Scarlett Johansson. I enjoyed that movie. I thought the production value on that
Yeah,
was
but
really good.
that was only because of one other thing that a lot of people had a problem with, and that's
Was was the whitewashing or whatever you want to
yeah,
call it?
yeah. I mean, that was the biggest problem that a lot of
Well,
people had with it.
the thing is they referenced that in the movie. In the movie, she was actually Asian, but she was put into that body.
Yeah, see, but a lot of people don't listen to that or think about that, or
Like they show the original Motoko, and she like was put into that body.
yeah,
But like I thought that was a really good adaptation of Ghost in the Shell, and the CG was up to par in my opinion,
right,
and it pulled off that very high tech sci-fi world that it's kind of hard to pull off. I would feel the Japanese would have a hard time pulling that off.
right.
But like if it's like a shonen movie like Bleach or like Attack on Titan, I know it's not shonen, but
Oh
you
my
know,
god,
like the Full Metal Alchemist movie
they're both like the same thing to me,
the Full Metal Alchemist movie is really bad.
right? I had so much hope for that one.
All
You let me down.
right, yeah. So this one, I feel like this would be up higher on a lot of people's list, and I thought this would be higher on the this list. Number
Yeah,
6.
this is probably my number two though.
Oh, it
That
is.
one, that one. Yeah. All right, number 6.
Number 6, censorship.
Oh shit! Like, why is it even here? Goodness.
So I can look at both ways on this. In Japan, they do censor anime for broadcast television over there.
Right.
And I know a lot of people feel like um anime doesn't get censored over in Japan, but it does, you know.
Yeah.
And usually you have to buy the DVD or buy the Blu-ray to see the uncensored version. That's how they get you over in Japan.
Right.
In the US, I don't really care if it's censored on TV, you know, because
Yeah.
that's how I grew up with it, was having censored anime, and I honestly don't care if you
Right.
censor the anime, but if I'm able to buy it and it's censored, then I might have a problem with it.
Oh
But
man, no, I think it should just maybe it should be advertised a certain way. Like
well, the
if
thing is, a lot of anime, and I feel like a lot of people have problems with the censorship was
yeah,
because they were it was it was geared towards children,
yeah,
and you know how in Japan they have a different view on violence and sex when it
that's
comes
true.
to children. You know, they can show a little bit more
Right.
sometimes or do things. Over here we can't do that. You can't point a gun at somebody's head in a children's cartoon. They're
Right.
not going to allow that
Without it being a laser beam.
without it being a laser beam. I don't even
Pew
know
pew.
they can barely allow that as well.
Right.
But like, and the one thing I can think of is, when they
No
One
mini
Piece was
skirts.
One Piece was like this, where they would like erase smokers' cigarettes and stuff like that, and take out the
Yeah.
violence and stuff like that.
And
A lot of people,
Sanji,
yeah, a lot of people don't
they would
realize.
replace them with lollipops.
Yeah, I thought that was really a genius thing.
Yeah.
But some people don't understand is we have standards and practices just like Japan does. and we can't necessarily get past the censorship, so that's why things have to be censored.
Yeah, I mean, I disagree with like a hell of a lot of that because I mean, honestly, with part of that, if you go downtown anywhere and it's a businessman or whatever, or I mean anybody, you're gonna see him smoking a cigarette. It's not like you can
Yeah,
hide the
yeah, I
fact
know,
that.
but our standards and practices are weird about that
But
when it
I
comes to
think it,
when it comes to children's TV.
yeah, I think it takes away from the understanding of
Hmm.
all that other stuff. Like a lot of American parents don't want to take that extra step to say, cigarettes are bad for you.
Yeah, and some people don't want to have to deal with that, honestly, or deal with their kids watching violent stuff. And
Right,
let's be honest, One Piece can get violent sometimes, and other anime like Dragon Ball and stuff like that. They can get a little violent,
right,
but there's only certain things you can show on American television. Well, at
right.
least when it comes to like cable, that is
Yeah,
not cable broadcast television. They censor like Dragon Ball and Nickelodeon, I believe, as well. So
right.
yeah, like Mr. Popo.
Mr. Popo.
But yeah, I mean, I don't really care. Like if it gets censored, but if I can buy it on DVD, or
Well,
Blu-ray, and it's not censored, I'm perfectly fine with that.
I mean, I just think it's really funny how there are things that are censored, but like I watched like Monster Musume or Sekirei and some other
Uh
ones,
huh.
and I'm like, none of this is censored. Like, is this okay to watch with girls with big boobs hanging out and stuff, and you can see like almost everything, Like,
Yeah, but I
is this
mean that
okay?
didn't you watch that on like a website or like Sentai Filmworks or something like that?
Netflix and Hulu.
Netflix, Hulu. Yeah, see,
Uh,
that's fine.
So yeah, I mean, it's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
So, all right,
All right.
number
Number
num,
5,
number 5.
anime original endings. I feel like that's kind of like
Uh,
incomplete stories almost as well.
yeah, I feel like that definitely fits with it. I don't know, and I only know of like really two examples of this. There's one that, well, three. D and Angel at the end of that, it tells you for the
Uh-huh.
true ending, watch the anime.
Yeah.
There's something else that says the opposite, read the manga for the true ending. And then
Yeah,
there's
I believe
one,
Dragon Half was like that. Like, oh, we ran out of budget to so go read the manga, stuff like that.
yeah,
A lot of anime that are like 11, 12 episodes, 13 episodes usually have um go read the manga endings
yeah,
because they don't have a complete story.
right. And that's just crazy.
I most of the time, if it's an anime original ending, I don't even know about it. If it's an anime original ending,
That's true. I
I'm
I
just
mean
like,
I
okay, that was an okay ending.
yeah, yeah. I don't even know if this is really a thing, honestly, because unless they point it out to me, like like you said, like I really don't even know. So I
Like
I
I
don't
was
know if I
watching
can get
Soul
mad.
Eater. I was watching Soul Eater, and I had no idea that was it. I was like, oh, that's different. Oh, okay.
The worst part is it's not really that different. Like honestly, between reading both of them, it's not.
Yeah. Or
It's
like
almost a one for one.
when people were like, "Oh yeah, Chobits is a different ending." I was like, "Oh, okay." And I found what ending the ending for Chobits is. I was like, "It's just like a little change."
Right.
And what was the other one I read oh god, I can't remember off the top of my head now. Oh, Elfen Lied has a completely different ending
Yeah.
than cuz it went on longer.
Yeah.
Akira, I mean, you could say that's an anime original ending cuz
They only stopped halfway through.
Akira wasn't finished when that was being made.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm impartial to this one. I could put it more down the list in my
Yeah.
opinion because
Yeah, for sure.
It's just this next one, number 4.
On to number 4.
Number 4 I do have a problem with because I feel like a lot of times they don't, or they use it really poorly nowadays.
Okay.
And that's terrible CGI. And
Um,
I specifically go to
did we
the
not just have a rant about live action and stuff?
yeah, yeah, we did. So this goes along with it, but
Oh
this
my
is
god.
particularly anime, like anime or whatever, and is the I go straight to the Berserk movies and the new Berserk show. That shit's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, I mean, mine goes to like initial D because the cars are that way.
Oh yeah, Initial D, yeah, and that was early CGI too.
Yeah, but I think they did good with it.
They
But
did the best at what they could do with it, I guess.
yeah, but I mean, I believe there are other ones that are out
I
there
feel
that
like
are.
I feel like when they say terrible CGI, it's ones that are like all CGI.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that I know I really hate is like, I think it's a Baki the Grappler, maybe.
Doesn't that one have CGI with it?
There's like a fight scene, and like you can clearly tell, like they CGI uh, like 5 seconds here, 5 seconds there, like, and you're like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah.
I would prefer it to be more like King and Ashura, where almost everything is CGI. It
What'd you
looks
say? Sorry.
more King and Ashura.
Oh, I haven't seen that, so I can't say yes or no to that.
So that one almost other characters are in CGI, so it looks more
Mm-hmm.
like Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
So you have everything like with Ruby and all that. They are all CGI,
Okay.
but they're
Okay.
based off of anime-ish
Uh-huh.
characters.
Yeah, I don't think they anime companies do really good CGI. I think
Uh,
Gundam is passable. The Gundam when Gundams go to CGI, it's somewhat passable.
yeah, I
Um,
really feel like cars and Gundams or robots are passable with CGI most of the time.
yeah,
Unless the whole thing is in CGI, if you do bits and pieces, I think it really ruins it.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I really wish they would go back to just. I mean, they do digital animation pretty well nowadays,
Yeah,
but I mean, they're just something. They're on like a fucking CGI kick. It seems like a lot of times.
yeah,
And if I find out like, oh, I don't really want to watch this, like I kind of get turned off if I find out, oh, this is in CGI. I don't really want to watch it. you know,
right. Yeah,
I just kind of steer clear from CGI animes, or altogether for
yeah,
that. So yeah, I would put this higher on. I would put this probably at 4. But a lot of times there are times, sometimes though, where I will look past CGI in anime depending if I notice it or not. But a lot of times it does stand out.
yeah.
So this next one, number 3, um,
Number 3.
we have recap episodes. Do you have anything to say about that?
Yes,
Okay.
I fucking hate them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only part that I actually like in recap episodes, and it's a strong depending, very
hmm
strong depending, is if it's a recap episode that is recapping. Um, I mean, I don't even know if you could call it a recap episode. It's usually one of those where you start at the beginning, like maybe there was a fight scene and this character went this direction, this character went this direction.
hmm
And so it's kind of you get to see the angle from this one character's way of going and this other character's way of going.
So every time when people talk about recap episodes, or when this came up in the conversation on the video, have you ever seen Wolf's Rain?
Yes.
Do you remember there was a string of episodes, and I think it was to do with like anthrax or something like that, and that's
Yeah.
why these episodes ended up happening, I think. And it was 4 recap episodes back to back to back to back, all in a row. And they were all from stuff we already watched and from each wolf's perspective. So I go and get like this Wolverine DVD, and if you
Yeah.
watch the original set, it's all on one disc.
Oh my god.
Um, you can skip those episodes because it's early on in the series, and it's you just watched that those set episodes. You don't need the recap.
Yeah.
You know, I think recap episodes are not needed. I don't like them whatsoever, and especially 4 episodes back to back.
Right.
It's fucking ridiculous. I would probably put this up at number 1, maybe, or number 2,
Yeah.
in my opinion. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't feel like this is actually that big of a thing because if I
I don't
knew
know.
it
We
was a
don't really
recap,
get recap episodes a lot of times
yeah, and if
anymore.
I knew that there was one or whatever, I think I would just skip it. I mean,
Yeah,
honestly, it's not that big of a deal either,
yeah. I mean, recap episodes are kind of like, oh yeah, we don't have any stories, so let's just recap what we got.
right? We screwed up.
Yeah. All right. So
So
number 2,
number two,
low production quality.
I don't know.
I mean, it depends. If we're talking about like an older anime, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy like really badly animated old anime.
Yeah,
But with newer stuff, I'm kind of like, you got to bring your A game a little bit.
yeah. You need something that sets it apart from the rest.
Yeah, because like I remember with like older anime, and it would be like, oh, there's a spaceship going, and we're gonna slide the spaceship across the cell and make it look like it's moving, type of thing.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think this one's kind of pretty. I don't say like objective based,
Yeah,
but I mean, some people are production snobs when it comes to like quality of animation.
that's true.
Um, like l- I just think off the top of my head, I mean, it was really badly animated, but that beginning of Dragon Ball Super sucked. Like,
Oh,
I don't know if you watched
I
Dragon
have
Ball
no idea.
Super,
No,
but
I saw like one. I saw like one or two fight scenes.
it's it sucked. Like, Akira Toriyama came out and he was like, this is bad, guys. Like, what did you guys do?" And
Yeah,
they even went back and tried to like fix it, I think, for like Blu-ray releases,
yeah.
and it still wasn't really able to be fixed.
I'm sure he was like, "Did y'all shit on my work? Did you?"
I mean, basically they did.
Or he was like, "Hey, get over here and smell this. Smell
Like, it
this."
was for Dragon Ball, even though they do reuse things, and stuff like that. This was bad.
Yeah,
Like, it
yeah,
was
it is.
like sometimes they didn't have faces, and when they're far away, you would be like two little dots posted on their face for eyeballs.
Yeah,
It just wasn't good.
yeah. And I mean,
You,
that's not. I don't feel like that's necessarily a bad thing if they go with it the whole time. Because there are some where the character will have like a little stupid face like that.
or be
It'll
like
be a
off model, a little bit.
yeah, something like that, and that'll be okay. But you have to go into the show knowing like that's what any shocked expression or something like that.
Yeah,
That's what it's going to turn into.
yeah, but
Now,
I mean,
if it's something where oh yeah, well that's not what we intended, and you screw it up so many times or whatever,
yeah,
uh, there's
yeah.
no way that people
If
can
it's
help
like a
you.
newer show, you have to blow me away with the animation, or I really don't give a shit about the show. But if it's like 90s, 80s, 70s anime, I'm
Yeah.
willing to look past it more because that was like the growing era
Right.
of like, oh, we were doing cell, and then cell animation went from to computer animation or digital animation, so there was
Right.
growth. And now they're all doing digital animation. So you should all be on the same A game when it comes to animation,
Right.
regardless of what it is, or whatever your crunch time is, in my opinion. Because those
Right.
guys get work to the bone,
This is true.
and they get shit pay,
This
and
is
they
true.
animate multi-million-dollar animation shit,
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. This one
So
let's go ahead, sorry.
so number one.
Yeah, number one. Number one.
Number one.
This one I'm of two minds as well. This one a lot of people hate. Es- Can you guess what it is?
No. I,
What if I
I
give
was
what
I
if,
was about
what
to
if I
say do you know if I'm gonna hate this one or not?
well let me give you a hint. It happens a lot in shonen battle anime. Can you guess what
Uh,
I'm thinking of?
no.
Filler.
Oh shit. Okay. I mean, honestly, I really don't care on this one.
Okay, okay.
Uh,
I know a lot of people hate it. I look at filler. Filler can be good sometimes.
yeah. I mean, I feel like you just have to go into it knowing that it's filler, but like there are some filler like episodes and stuff. Like I know there's 2 seasons in Bleach that are entirely filler.
Yeah, Naruto's the same way, correct? Right? Like early
Uh,
Naruto or late
no,
Naruto, and like before
Naruto.
Shippuden.
No, I mean Naruto has you'll have like 3 episodes that are like its own story that's filler, but it
Well,
won't have like an entire season.
I was talking like before Shippuden, like right before Shippuden happened. There was like a lot of filler.
Not that I really remember.
I remember there were like chunks of episodes that was filler. Like I remember getting like the like burned DVDs of Naruto, like they were fan subbed. And
Yeah,
my friend was like, "Okay, watch this to this. This is not filler, but all this after this is filler.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean,
watch if you want
I
to."
know there's part of it like there's the Fuji brothers or something, and then the guy that was in the first episode of
There
Naruto like
was there. I
escapes.
remember like there was like a bone guy. He had like fought with bones. That's one of
No,
the fillers that I remember, right?
no, he's not filler.
Oh, he's not filler. Okay,
Yeah, no, you're talking about Kimimaru of the
M-
Sound Ninja,
maybe I don't remember.
because that's when you find out that it's the Sound Four, and then it goes, and you're like, oh, I've been lied to the whole
I
fucking
mean, the
time.
only filler
It's
that I
actually
remember,
the Sound Five.
the only filler that I actually remember for Naruto is, and it's only because of this specific thing.
Yeah,
They go to like a castle, and Naruto is like, "Oh man, I gotta pee," and he pees off this castle, and below him is Ino, and Ino's like, "Oh, it's raining," and Naruto pees on Ino.
oh god, I don't even know if I remember that.
It's a filler episode.
It almost sounds like one of the movies.
No,
Uh,
it's a filler episode.
I mean, I feel like part of filler, depending on what it is, doesn't exactly matter. I feel like it matters more with like One Piece.
I feel
Naruto and
like it.
Bleach, I didn't really feel
I
like
feel
it
like
was
it.
that big of a thing because
I
it
feel
went.
like it gets pushback when it's at its like when an anime is at its like highest, and there's more to the story, but there's you can't get to that story. You have to wait,
Yeah,
and people are like, "I want more." So the anime companies are like, "Okay, we'll give you more, but we're not going to give you the story that you want.
yeah. Well, I
We're
mean,
going to
like
give you,
the
you know."
ones like I know like part of the ones for Bleach and Naruto, and I actually enjoy them fairly
Mhm.
well. Like the one I was talking about with these, like I'm pretty sure it's the Fuji brothers. I would say they're both basically based off of Donkey Kong,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they can do the partial expansion stuff like Choji can do. And then we see the guy from episode one that told Naruto to steal the sacred scroll to begin with,
Mm-hmm.
come back and found this little thing of like a little chemistry set do it yourself thing from Orochimaru, and he did it and then drank it and got his own little curse seal like the sound guys.
Yeah.
And instead of getting powers like them, it made him instantly kick into like the demon form like they had,
Mm-hmm.
and he turned into like this tiger. So I mean, he looked like he could be in Kung Fu Panda.
Like even like Dragon Ball had seasons of filler in it, like Dragon Ball Z did,
Yeah.
like you had the Garlic Junior saga and stuff like that. But I mean, I don't think filler can be all that bad.
What? Garlic
Um,
Jr. was a filler?
yeah, Garlic
There's
Junior was a filler.
there's no way.
Yeah, it was. But
No.
one of my favorite episodes is a filler and it's one of my favorite episodes ever of an anime. It's when Goku and Piccolo get their driver's license tests and try to get driver's licenses.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the funniest fucking episodes ever. So I mean, I don't know. Filler. I mostly don't watch a lot of filler when it comes to anime, but I feel like that's only really in long running animes.
That's
And a
true.
lot of animes that are long running nowadays, let's say like My Hero Academia, doesn't have filler.
Right.
They just kind of like, okay, when more comes out, we'll make that next chunk, and that'll be our next season, and then we'll wait for the next stuff to come out.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get it. But I really don't know if I really don't know if this should be on my list either. Like
Yeah,
I just wouldn't care.
yeah. I mean,
Because I mean,
maybe we're just
filler
too old.
sometime is fun because most of the time it's more comical.
Maybe we're just too old, and we don't really care anymore.
Maybe
you know?
maybe all the young Karens and Chads out there are what's ruining anime today.
Oh God, yeah. Fucking Karens ruining my anime.
Fucking Chads.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
so I mean, what would you say overall about this list? Do you agree with most of it? Don't
Um,
agree?
certain ones I do agree with, kind of. Certain ones I don't.
Mr. Miyagi, I view most of these with two minds, kind of
I
bullshit.
mean, like I guess like when I was younger, I would be like, yeah, I would probably agree with these a lot more.
Yeah,
But now that I've gotten older, I've aged, I kind of don't care.
yeah,
I kind of don't care. Like, if I really like something, I'll watch it, and
right.
I'll buy it and watch it, or at
Well,
my own
so here's
pace.
my little last spiel on this, and then we can be done with the show.
All right.
My little last spiel, and just like you brought it up earlier before the break, is whenever they have all this extra stuff,
Yeah.
where we have basically the extra things like um Goblin Slayer and Goblin
Yeah.
Slayer New Day and this new one that you said and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that to me, even though it's a side story,
It's kind of filler.
would be filler.
Yeah.
So, when we're talking about this stuff and you have My Hero Academia, well then you also have My Hero Academia Vigilantes
Yeah. And then
and
that other one, the other
you
one that was
have
like Smash that just came out.
yeah, you have Smash and you have Briefs, which is supposedly like everybody in their freaking underwear.
Oh,
And some
is
other
it?
ones. Yeah. I mean, it's just like a bunch of stuff. I feel like you could toss it together and it's all filler basically. I mean, you could toss it in as episodes go on and
But
people would watch them.
wouldn't you say Vigilantes is more connected than the other two, possibly?
Yeah.
Because it is kind of like a prequel
Yeah.
slash
I
ongoing
I
story.
I would honestly probably have to throw I feel like Attack on Titan is probably the best one to give the
Yeah.
example of. the side stories for Levy and
It's like before the fall, after the fall, whatever we want to
yeah,
call it.
well, like Levy and stuff could be that, or the one with the two girls in it.
Uh huh.
I mean, that could be technically quote unquote filler for it. But if
Yeah.
you stuck that in the middle of anything, especially when you kind of have talked about part of these people's past, nobody would bat an eyelash about it, you know? Um, or if like you stopped the episode right in the middle and had like a little break mini short thingy and
Yeah.
threw something from Attack on Titan High School in it, where it's all comical. I mean,
Yeah.
or you had a whole season where you said, you cut it out and you put in before the fall. I mean, you have a lot of options of what you could do to pile everything in and make it a little mini short that's in the middle
Yeah.
of it, at the end of it, the beginning of it, um, you know, or a whole like freaking filler season that's technically not filler. It's its own series that stands alone, but you can put it into it for that hype and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I just feel like I'm just older and I just don't really give a shit anymore
yeah.
that much. I'm not as critical as I used to be on anime. I'm just kind
Oh
of like,
man.
I'm just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel that way with anime. Now, if we talked about movies and went over this list, that might be a little different, but
Yeah.
because movies and books and stuff, I feel like when
I
people
wonder
touch
if
it,
they have
it
I
goes
wonder
too
if they have a
much.
top 10 manga thing. We'll have to check to see the top 10 manga on WatchMojo. We'll have to go over that if they have that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
So
fun to talk about, but like, I don't know. It just these seem like gripes everybody has with anime, and they're like none of them really like shocked me.
right,
Although I thought maybe like dubs would be up higher on the list because there's the
right,
whole sub versus dub debate going on that still goes on all the fucking time.
right. So who the hell knows?
Yeah, but yeah. Um, so hopefully we'll have a manga episode next time you check us out. I think we're gonna be talking about Blood on the Tracks, right?
Right? Yeah.
I think so.
Hopefully we have a couple more manga episodes that we can put out for y'all. Hopefully maybe another movie
Yeah.
uh episode soon or two. Um, and then our individual little things. Hopefully, we have a couple more of those
Yeah, I
coming.
recorded 3 last weekend.
Yeah. Hopefully, we have some more of that stuff coming out for y'all,
Yeah, but yeah,
as as well as a few more of these interviews that we're doing.
yeah, hopefully we can get some more people
And
on here.
yeah, and we still have the one show that we have to do where we answer your questions and just kind of shoot the
Oh,
shit for a while.
yeah, we got that too. Hopefully we can get more questions. Instagram. I'm looking at you,
Right.
Instagram.
Instagram.
But, if you would like to listen to our podcast, you can give us a review, 5 stars at Apple Podcasts. We will read your comment or review of our podcast on our podcast. You can find us there at Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, wherever all the major podcast platforms are. If you would like to contact us, you can contact us at Otakuology Podcast on Instagram, or you can contact us at Otakuology Podcast at gmail.com, all one word. And if you have a question for us or have a suggestion for an episode, you can contact us there. And you can probably find us on the TikTok
That's true.
at Otakuology Podcast 1.
This is
Yeah.
also true.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, Jen, when will they see us next?
Oh man, guys, you will see both these nasty men next Tuesday, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Snap into Slim Jim.